Hi, today we will discuss about the fluconazole. Fluconazole is one of an antifungal with broad spectrum of activity. Fluconazole is one of the antifungal agent belong to the class of azole antifungals. We can easily observe its suffix azole. And among the azole antifungals, fluconazole is having few of the advantages, like it is having the high bioavailability. So fluconazole shows greater than 90% of oral bioavailability, so it is highly suitable by the oral route. Similarly, this drug is having the broad spectrum of activity, and fluconazole is effective against the Cryptococcus neoformans infection. Similarly, this drug is having the mild side effects compared with the other imidazole antifungals, as well as this drug is having the less steroidal side effects compared with the ketoconazole. In this way, fluconazole is having few of the advantages compared with the other azole antifungals, and today in this video we will see how this fluconazole acts and how it is highly bioavailable, what are the possible side effects, drug interactions, doses and indications of the fluconazole. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and share this video and post your comments in the comment box. First of all, let us see the structure of fluconazole. This is the structure of fluconazole, and in this structure, what is the principal functional group? The OH group is the principal functional group, so we can start the numbering to this alkyl chain. So 1, 2 and 3. Since the OH group is the principal functional group, the name of this structure will be propane 2-ol. So second position hydroxyl group is present. Similarly, at the second position, a phenyl ring is present with fluorine groups. So at the second position, 2-2,4-difluorophenyl group is going to be present. And then what are the groups present at the third and first position? At the third position as well as the first position, you can observe that it is having the same groups. So we can represent this as 1, 3 bis. The bis indicates they are present twice in the structure. But what is that ring system? The ring system is nothing but the trizole ring system. So here we can start the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That means they are having the 1, 2, 4 trizole ring system, which is going to be attached by first position. So we can call it as 1, 2, 4 trizole 1-yle. So now we can write the 1, 2, 4 trizole 1-yle here. So we can complete the name of the fluconazole. So fluconazole is an azole antifungal, but it is not having the imidazole ring system. It is having the trizole ring system, and here it is 2 trizole rings are present. So sometimes it's called as bis trizole ring system. Now let us see how this fluconazole acts. This drug acts by producing the selective inhibition in the fungal cells. Particularly, this drug is going to affect the lipid on the cell membrane, but here this drug should act on the two living systems. One is the host, that is the mammalian cells. Second one is the fungal cells. Both the mammalian cells as well as the fungal cells are having the lipids on the cell membrane. What is the lipid present in the mammalian cells? Mammalian cells are having the cholesterol as the lipid, whereas fungal cells are having the ergosterol as the lipid. Now this fluconazole is going to produce a selective inhibition on the fungal cells so that they are going to inhibit the ergosterol biosynthesis without affecting the cholesterol biosynthesis in the mammalian cells. How they are going to be synthesized? Now we have seen that the lipid present on the mammalian cell as well as in the fungal cell, they are different. The mammalian cell is having the cholesterol, whereas fungal cell are having the ergosterol. For both of these lipids, the common precursor is the lanosterol. Lanosterol can be converted into cholesterol within the mammalian cells, whereas it can be converted into ergosterol in the fungal cells. That means even the lipids are different in the mammalian and fungal cells, but they are obtained from the common intermediate lanosterol. Within the mammalian cells, the lanosterol is converted to cholesterol by several steps, and around 19 steps are going to be involved in the conversion of the lanosterol to the cholesterol. Similarly, in the fungal cells, again lanosterol undergoes the multi-step process so that it is going to become to ergosterol. Now fluconazole is going to selectively block this ergosterol pathway so that it is going to inhibit the ergosterol biosynthesis within the fungal cells without affecting the cholesterol biosynthesis in the mammalian cells. Now this is the structure of the lanosterol. This lanosterol is going to be converted into ergosterol within the fungal membrane. If we observe what is the difference between the lanosterol and the ergosterol, and if we focus on the methyl groups initially, here you can observe that in the lanosterol at the fourth position 2 methyl groups are present. Similarly, at the 14th position another methyl group is present. These methyl groups are going to be lost in the ergosterol with an introduction of a new double bond within the ring. And we can also observe an extra methyl group in the ergosterol within the alkyl side chain. So if we see that how the lanosterol is converted to ergosterol, initially the lanosterol undergoes an alkylation so that a methyl group is going to be attached. And after that, it undergoes the demethylation, so mainly the demethylase enzymes are going to be involved in the conversion of the lanosterol to the ergosterol. And among these demethylase enzymes, the demethylation at the 14th position is very important. In the lanosterol, at the 14th position, a methyl group is present which is attached by alpha configuration, that is, it is attached below the plane. This methyl group can be removed by one of the enzyme, lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase enzyme. So this enzyme is very important in the biosynthesis of the ergosterol. Now this fluconazole is going to inhibit this lanosterol 14 alpha demethyl enzyme selectively in the fungal cells so that it inhibits the biosynthesis of the ergosterol. This lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase enzyme is also present in the mammalian cells. But surprisingly, fluconazole is not having any activity on the mammalian enzyme. It is only inhibiting this enzyme within the fungal cells. So that's why fluconazole produces a selective inhibition. Now what is this lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase? This is one of an enzyme belonging to the cytochrome P450 enzymes. Commonly it is going to be denoted as CYP51. And this enzyme is having the iron moiety on which the fluconazole can act. Now the fluconazole is having the triazole ring system. The nitrogen of the triazole ring system can form a complex with this iron so that they can inhibit the activity of the lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase enzyme. And when this enzyme is going to be inhibited, the biosynthesis of the ergosterol can be inhibited. What is the final effect? We have seen that fluconazole is going to inhibit the lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase enzyme in the fungal cells, thereby it inhibits the biosynthesis of the ergosterol. By inhibition of this step, what happens in the fungal membrane? So as this enzyme is going to be inhibited within the fungal membrane, other intermediates like the eburicol as well as lanosterol and other methylated sterols are going to be accumulated. But still the ergosterol is not going to be formed within the fungal membrane. Due to lack of the ergosterol within the fungal membrane, the fluconazole can affect few of the activities related to the fungal membrane. For example, it can increase the membrane fluidity because ergosterol is very important for maintaining the membrane rigidity, and when it is not present, the membrane fluidity is going to be increased. Similarly, the altered permeability, whenever fluidity increases, the permeability is also going to be modified through the membrane. It can also increase the leakage of the amino acids and some of the essential components like the potassium. So these are going to be lost out of the fungal cell. And even the membrane related enzymatic activity is also going to be reduced due to absence of ergosterol. In this way, fluconazole is going to inhibit the ergosterol mediated membrane activities, thereby decreases the growth of the fungal cells. So that's why fluconazole produces a fungistatic action on the fungal cells. Now let us compare this fluconazole with the imidazole antifungals. Fluconazole is having this ring system, whereas ketoconazole is having this ring system. What is the difference between these two rings? The fluconazole is having the triazole ring system, whereas ketoconazole is having the imidazole ring system. And we have already seen that fluconazole is having the two triazole ring systems. Because of the introduction of the triazole ring, the water solubility is going to be increased in the fluconazole. And because of this, fluconazole shows a high oral bioavailability compared with the imidazole antifungals. And it also shows the pH independent dissolution. For example, ketoconazole is a basic drug and it requires the acidic environment within the stomach so that it is going to be dissolved and then going to be absorbed. So for ketoconazole, the gastric pH is very important. But in case of fluconazole, the gastric pH is not having any effect on the dissolution of the fluconazole because fluconazole is already having some adequate water solubility, so it is easily dissolved and then absorbed. Similarly, the absorption of the fluconazole is not affected by presence of food. So these are the advantages of the fluconazole by improved water solubility due to the introduction of the triazole ring system. Now let us list out all the advantages of the fluconazole compared with the other azole antifungals. Already we have seen that this drug is having the high oral bioavailability. This drug is showing the more than 90% oral bioavailability. So that's why this drug can be given both in the oral route as well as the IV route. Similarly, this drug is having the significant permeability into the body fluids. This is very important. When this drug reaches to the different membrane, it can show the antifungal activity in the various types of fungal infections. For example, this drug is going to enter into the cerebrospinal fluid, therefore it can show the activity against the Cryptococcus infections. And another advantage is that this drug is having a long half-life. Because of the long half-life, the dosing frequency is less in the fluconazole, and few of the infections it is given as a single dose. Similarly, this drug is having the broad spectrum of antifungal activity. Already we have seen that this drug is effective against the Cryptococcus meningitis infection. And fluconazole shows the less protein binding. It is having the less than 10% protein binding, so that the protein binding interactions will be less. And compared with the other azole antifungals, this drug is having the mild side effects. And this is also having the less effect on the steroidal receptors. This drug shows the less risk of the gynecomastia and other menstrual disorders. So all these are the advantages of the fluconazole. Now let us see the side effects. As already we have seen, the fluconazole produce very mild side effects. So we can observe a few of the side effects like the headache and dizziness, which are the central side effects produced by the fluconazole. Similarly, this drug produces a few of the hypersensitive reactions like the skin rashes and exfoliations of the skin, and even in rare case it can produce a Stevens-Johnson syndrome. This is one of a fatal condition which can produce a fever, blistering of the skin, mouth, genitalia and other tissues, and very rarely fluconazole can produce this Stevens-Johnson syndrome. And other side effects include the nausea, abdominal pain, and one of the important side effects is the increase in the QT interval. Fluconazole is having a risk of increase in the QT interval which may precipitate the Torsades de Pointes, which is one of a fatal cardiac arrhythmia. So whenever the fluconazole is given for a longer periods, the ECG should be thoroughly checked so that if any increase in the QT interval is observed, the drug should be discontinued. Seizures can be observed at a very toxic dose, but at a therapeutic dose we cannot observe any seizures with the fluconazole. And next one is the hepatotoxicity. Even this fluconazole is having the less hepatotoxicity compared with the imidazoles, but when the drug is used at a high dose for a longer periods, we can observe some hepatitis as well as liver failure in few of the patients. So even the hepatotoxicity is very rare, but there is a chance of hepatitis and liver failure when this drug is used at a high dose for a longer period. Next one is the drug interactions. Already we have seen that fluconazole is going to inhibit the lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase enzyme. What is this enzyme? We have already seen this enzyme is a cytochrome P450 enzyme commonly denoted as CYP51. Since the fluconazole is going to having an affinity towards the cytochrome P450 system, it may also have some activity against the hepatic cytochrome P450 system. So fluconazole is going to inhibit the CYP450 system at the liver, thereby it is going to inhibit the metabolism of the so many drugs. Particularly it can affect the CYP3A4, CYP2C9 and CYP2C19. Because of inhibition of these enzymes, it can produce few of the drug interactions. So fluconazole can inhibit the metabolism of the cyclosporine, glipizide and other types of drugs, thereby it can increase their toxicity. Next one is the dose of the fluconazole. Fluconazole is given at a dose of 400 to 800 mg, and 400 mg dose is given either once daily or twice daily according to the situation, and 800 mg is given as once daily dose. Clinical uses. One of the important uses of the fluconazole is in the treatment of candidiasis. It can be used for the topical candidiasis as well as the systemic candidiasis. Topically, it can be used for the fungal infections like the oropharyngeal candidiasis, which we call the thrush. Similarly, it can also be used for the esophageal candidiasis, and it can be used for the vaginal candidiasis as well as urinary tract fungal infections. And among the systemic candidiasis, one of the important one is the Candida albicans. This organism produces a fungal infection at the gut flora, which can be treated by fluconazole. And another important one is the Cryptococcus meningitis. Cryptococcus meningitis is caused by Cryptococcal neoformans. This organism is an yeast-like fungus which can affect the various tissues like the lungs, brain and spinal cord. So fluconazole, because of the increased permeability into the body fluids, it is proved useful in the treatment of Cryptococcal neoformans infections, and particularly it can be used in the Cryptococcus meningitis infection, where it can enter into the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, and inhibits the fungal growth within the CNS. So that's about the fluconazole Fluconazole is one of a triazole antifungal, and it is not having the imidazole ring, it is having the triazole ring, and particularly this drug is having the two triazole ring systems. Because of the triazole ring system, the water solubility is going to be increased, and as the water solubility is increased, the oral bioavailability is going to be increased greater than 90%. And because of this drug is easily dissolved, and its dissolution is not affected by the gastric pH, and even its absorption is not influenced by the presence of the food. And this drug is having the broad spectrum of activity, as it is permeable into the many of the body cavities and body fluids. And this drug is having the mild side effects compared to the other imidazole antifungals. And even this drug is having the less steroidogenesis and gynecomastia at a therapeutic dose, but at very high dose it can produce some steroidal effects. Fluconazole acts by selective inhibition of the lanosterol 14-alpha demethylase enzyme within the fungal cells, thereby it inhibits the biosynthesis of the ergosterol within the fungal cells. As the ergosterol is not formed, the methylated sterols are more accumulated within the fungal membrane, which produce the altered permeability, increased membrane fluidity, and increased leaking of the fungal cell membrane with reduced enzymatic activity related with the ergosterol. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, share this video, and post your comments in the comment box.